Good morning, my dear students. Welcome you all to this session. Today's class, we are going to start from the exercise 8.1. In the last class, we just seen what is the introduction about this comparing quantities chapter. Yes, in that itself, we have learned what is meant by ratios, what is meant by proportion, and how we will compare it, and what is the unitary method. That all we have discussed in the last class. Now we'll go to the exercise problem, exercise 8.1. You can take page number 157 in your NCERT textbook. Okay, what is the question given? Find the ratio of, okay, we are supposed to find the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 pice. Okay, we should find the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 pice. I already told you, when we are finding the ratio, it should be in same units. So here it is in rupees, here it is in pice. So we are supposed to convert either in rupees or in pice. So better we can convert that to pice, okay, both in pice. So 1 rupee is equal to 100 pice, okay. 1 rupee is equal to how many pice? 100 pice. So 5 rupees is equal to 5 into 100, 500 pice. So now we are finding the ratio of rupees, sorry, not rupees, it is, we are going to find the ratio of 500 pice to 50 pice now. Okay, because I have converted this rupees to pice, then 50 pice. So now both are in same units, pice, right? So we can divide it, 500 divided by 50, 0, 0 cancel, 5 ones are 5, 5 tens are. So 10 by 1 you are getting. So what is the ratio? 10 is to 1 is the ratio of, find the ratio of rupees 5 to 50 pice. Second subdivision, 15 kg to 200 gram. 15 kg to 200 gram. So whether both are in same units? No. So we can convert it. 1 kg is equal to 1000 gram. So 15 kg is equal to 15 into 1000, 15,000 gram. So now I am going to convert this kilogram to, I have converted this kilogram to gram. Now both are in grams, okay. So we are going to find the ratio of 15,000 gram to 210 gram. 15,000 gram to 210 gram. So 15,000 divided by 210. Both are in same units, correct? 0, 0 cancel. Now can we cancel it in two table? 2 7, so third table, 3 7s are, 3 5s are, 0 0. Can we cancel any more? Is there any possibility to cancel? 3 7s are, 3 5s are, 0 0. That's all. So what is the answer getting? 500 divided by 7. So what is the ratio? 500 is to 7. 500 is to 7 is the answer. Okay, 1 kilogram is equal to 1000 grams. Okay, don't forget that. Next, C problem and D problem is your homework. Okay, what is the homework, children? C and D is your homework. Next, second problem, I am writing a question. In a computer lab, there are 3 computers for every 6 students. Okay, how many computers are there for 6 students? 3 computers for every 6 students. So what we have to find? How many computers will be needed for 24 students? Okay, how many computers will be needed for 24 students? Next, so now we have to find it. So what is the question they have given? For 6 students, there are 3 computers. how many computers are there for 24 students? So what we can, how we will find it? We will find for one student, then for 24 students. This is one of the method, correct, by using unitary method. Another, like you will do like that, proportions. Yes, you will multiply the extreme corners, then middle terms, then you will find the answer. So we can do it in both the ways. Solution: number of computers for every 6 students. Number of computers for every 6 students is equal to 3. So number of computers for each student. For each student, how it will be? For 6 student, 3 means for 1 student, 3 by 6. 3 ones are 3, 3 twos are 6. So number of computer for each student is 1 by 2. So now number of computers for every 24 students is, when it comes to 24 students, how we will do? 1 by 2 into 24. 2 ones are 2, 2 twelves are. For 24 students, there will be 12 computers. Okay. For 6 students, there are 3 computers. Means for 24 students, there are 12 computers. So now we will do another method. Alter method. Okay, another method or alter method you can do it. By using the same thing, we can find the ratio. Okay, we can say that for 6 students is to 24 students is equal to 3 is to x, because for 6 students there are 3 computers. For 24 students we have to find. So this is the ratio. So we can say that this is equal and this 2 are equal. So 6 into x is equal to 24 into 3. So x is equal to 24 into 3 divided by 6. 6 ones are 6, 6 fours are 12. So x is equal to 4 threes are 12. So there are 12 computers. So therefore 12 computers are there. Okay, there are 12 computers. 12 computers are there for 24 students. Okay, there are 12 computers are there for 24 students. Understood? Your third problem. What is the question given? Population of Rajasthan is equal to 570 lakhs. Okay, population of Rajasthan is 570 lakhs and population of UP is equal to 1660 lakhs. Area of Rajasthan is equal to 3 lakhs kilometer square. 3 lakhs kilometer square. And area of UP is equal to 2 lakh kilometer square. So this is what the population is given, area is given. Okay, what is the first question? I didn't write the question. Wait. What is the first question? How many people are there per kilometer square in both these states? Okay. So what they have asked? For 1 kilometer square. So the area what it is given for Rajasthan, it is 3 lakh kilometer square. But for 1 kilometer square, how many people are living in Rajasthan and UP? Both they are asking. Second thing, which state is less populated? Which state is less populated? So if you get for 1 kilometer square for both the state, we can compare easily how many, which state is less populated. Populated means what? How many people are living in that country, right? So living in that state. Now we'll do it. We'll write the solution for that. How many people are there per kilometer square? Okay. So first we'll write it for we'll write whatever given in the question. Population of Rajasthan is equal to 570 lakhs. Then population of UP is equal to 1660 lakhs. Next, area of Rajasthan. Area of Rajasthan is equal to 3 lakhs kilometer square. What is the area given? 3 lakhs kilometer square. Area of UP is equal to 2 lakhs kilometer square. Okay. So now in this 3 lakh kilometer square only, in Rajasthan's area is how much? 3 lakh kilometer square. In this 3 lakh kilometer square area, how many people are living? 570 lakhs people are living. Correct? So number of people living in 3 lakhs. This is for Rajasthan, okay? For Rajasthan I am writing. Number of people living in 3 lakhs kilometer square land is equal to how many people? 5070 lakhs people are living. Number of people living in 3 lakhs kilometer square land is 570 lakhs people are living. So I want for 1 kilometer square land, because they asked you how many people are there per kilometer square. So for 1 kilometer square, upon number of people living in 1 kilometer square land is equal to 570 lakhs divided by 3 lakhs. Okay. For 1 kilometer square land, 570 lakhs divided by 3 lakhs. Lakhs cancel. 3 ones are 3. 2, 9 3s are 27, 0. So for 1 kilometer square land, how many people are living? 190 people are living, not 190 lakhs. Lakh got cancelled. So 190 people are living per kilometer square land. Okay. So this is for Rajasthan. So in Rajasthan, for 1 kilometer square, how many people are living? 190 people are living. Next, we'll go to UP. We are going for UP. Number of people living in, what is the area of UP? 3 lakhs kilometer square. So number of people living in 2 lakhs kilometer square land is equal to how many people are living? Land is equal to how many people are living in that population of UP is 1660 lakhs. 1660 lakhs. Actually, we want to find the number of people living in 1 kilometer square. So, number of people living in 1 kilometer square land is equal to 1660 lakhs divided by 2 lakhs. Lakhs cancel. 2 ones are 2, 2 8s are 16, 2 3s are 6, 0. So 830 people are living in 1 kilometer square land. Okay. So in Rajasthan, for 1 kilometer square land, 190 people are living. In UP, in 1 kilometer square land, there are 830 people are living. So we got the first question. Next, second question, which state is less populated? So by comparing this, in 1 kilometer square land, 190 people are living. In 1 kilometer square land, 830 people are living. So in this itself, we can compare it and write which is less populated. Which one is less populated? Rajasthan is less populated. Therefore, which state is less populated means Rajasthan is less populated than UP. Understood? Rajasthan is less populated than UP. So we will go to the next topic, percentages. Okay. Next topic is percentage. Okay. Usually this comparing will takes place in the marks. Okay, some students have got 90% of marks in your examination. Okay, some students have got 91% in exam. So you will calculate the percentage, using this percentage we will compare the quantity. Okay, so this is one of the criteria where you will compare the quantities. Okay, so mainly we will use this percentage in our daily life. Even parents will use the percentage in buying something. Oh, this much percentage we have used for sometime in household. If you have taken money for doing some household expenses, in that, oh, but 50% of amount has gone for buying this, 50% I have kept as savings, like that they will say, approximately they'll say. So where we will use this percentage in daily life. Okay, so that we are going to discuss. Percentage is nothing but numerator of a fractions with denominator 100. So when you are writing 7 by 100, it means that 7%. Okay, any number divided by 100, you will write that number with percentage. Okay, so it is the percentages are the numerators of fractions with denominator 100. Okay, denominator 100, it will be like a fraction with denominator 100. Keep that, there is a bolded letter given there, just underline that. Okay, then what is the meaning of percentage? Actually, percent. Okay, we are going to learn the meaning. It is actually a Latin word which we have used from the Latin word. What is that Latin word means? Percentum. Centum means what? 100, correct? Usually when you get centum in your paper, it means that you are getting 100 out of 100. Okay, so percentum is nothing but per 100. Per 100 means what? If something per 100, that value divided by 100. That is the meaning, right? Per 100 means that is the meaning. Okay, so percent is nothing but a Latin word. It is derived from the word called percentum. Percentum is nothing but per 100, which means any number divided by 100. That is the meaning. Okay, so see, there is one example given. 1% is nothing but 1 by 100. So 1 by 100 is nothing but what? It is the meaning of hundredth. You know hundredth, right? 1 by 100 is nothing but hundredth. So this is also you will denote it. Okay, so usually this percentage we will denote it for 100. Okay, when you want to find the percentage of some number, you will multiply by 100, or you will make the denominator as 100. You will convert the denominator as 100. So we can convert this fractional numbers to percentage to fractional numbers. There are many things you will learn here. So I'll straight away go to the example problem, so you will understand the percentage more clearly. Okay, example number 7. Okay, write 1 by 3 as percent. So 1 by 3 is actually a fraction. We should write the fraction as percentage. Okay, so what I am doing is I am multiplying and divided by 100. Okay, so if I multiply and divide by 100, this meaning is 100%. Okay, so 1 by 3 into 100%. 100 by 100 is nothing but 100%. Why? Because 1%, how you have written 1 by 100, correct? See, 1 by 100 you wrote, correct? Up 100% means 100 by 100. So now 1 into 100, 100 divided by 3%. Don't leave this symbol. It is, if you are leaving this symbol, it is entirely wrong. Listen children, 100%. I want to convert them into percentage. Appa 1 by 3 into 100 divided by 100. Appa 100 by 100 is nothing but 100%. So instead of this, I wrote 100%. 1 into 100, 100 divided by 3. We can divide it. 3 3s are 9, remainder 1, 0, 3 3s are 9, remainder 1. So what you are getting 33? 1 by 3 you are getting. which percentage. So now I have made 1 by 3 as 33 1 by 3 percentage. 33 1 by 3 percentage. Okay. Next, example number 8. Out of 25 children in a class, 15 are girls. What is the percentage of girls? So out of 25 children, 15 are girls. Correct? So this is the fraction of girls. Correct? Out of 25 children, 15 are girls. 15 by 25 is nothing but the fraction of girls. If you want to find the percentage, into 100 percentage. That's all. Instead of writing like this, you are directly writing 100 percentage. Okay. Now, we can cancel this. 25 ones are 25, 25 fours are 15 into 4, 5 fours are 20, 60. So, what you are getting? 60 percentage. So, 60 percentage of the class is covered with girls. Okay, 60 percentage of the class is covered with girls. Did you understand? Instead of writing 100 by 100, I directly wrote 100 percentage. So, this and this we can cancel it. 25 ones are 25 fours are. So, 60 percentage. Next, example number 9. Okay. Convert 5 by 4 to percent. Convert 5 by 4 to percent. How will you write? 5 by 4 into 100 percentage. Don't forget to write the percentage. 1 times 25. Correct? So 25 into 5 is 5 5s are 25, 5 2s are 10, 11, 12. So 125 percentage. Answer is what? 125 percentage. As usual, I am just multiplying by 5 into 25. I got 125 percentage. Understood, children? So today's class we have discussed what is meant by exercise 8.1 and how to do the ratios and how to use that unitary method that we have discussed. Then we have discussed something about percentage and how to convert a fraction to a percent. So that we have discussed. Okay. So from exercise 8.1 I have given first problem C, D as your homework. I hope you all understood, children. Thank you.